Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Sherress Hicks, and I am your agile thinker and wellness strategist. On this channel, we talk about everything agile leadership thinking as well as wellness. And today is Herbal Health Thursday. So we will be discussing one of my favorite herbs today, hibiscus or hibiscus, depending on where you're from and the pronunciation that you were taught. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so let's talk about what is hibiscus. Hibiscus is a vibrant flowering plant and is scientifically known as Hibiscus sabdariffa. And it's been used in traditional medicine for centuries. Okay, so this is ancient. The dried petals of the flower are what we would use to make the tart, that ruby red tea that is known as hibiscus tea, which is my absolute favorite. Okay, if you've ever been to the Middle East, like if you've ever been to Dubai, after each meal, they will probably offer you hibiscus tea. Okay. So again, it's my favorite. And I love it because it's tart, but you sweeten it up and it's the right amount of tartness and sweetness once you find that in between. Okay. So as I stated, it is grown mostly tropically and subtropically in those regions around the world, especially in West Africa. So it's very, very key to West Africa, also the Caribbean, Central America, of course, India, and then there are parts of South Asia that actually grow hibiscus. In many cultures, it is a staple in the home. It's used as for, both herbal remedies as well as a daily wellness routine. I myself drink hibiscus tea on like a daily basis, pretty much, because I know the history of my family with heart disease. I wanted to find something more natural that I could include in my diet so that it would help to manage that. And I'll get into all of that and the benefits of the tea, but I use it daily pretty much. Sometimes I do forget, but on most occasions, I do drink hibiscus tea on a daily basis. Okay. And so let's talk about some of the benefits of hibiscus tea. So the first thing I talked to you all about, in my family, we have issues with heart disease. So the first thing that hibiscus tea does is it regulates blood pressure. Yeah, it's rich in those anthocyanins and the natural plant acids that help to relax your blood vessels. So it helps to relax your blood vessels. It does act as a natural diuretic. I've never encountered an issue where my stomach was cramping or anything as far as the natural diuretic properties of hibiscus. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. But of course, if it affects you in that way, then you would have to adjust the amount that you are consuming. But it does help your body to get rid of a lot of excess sodium that's held up in your body and water. So that's going to lower your blood pressure. The next thing that it does, hibiscus tea actually contains antioxidants that combat oxidative stress in the body. So it helps to reduce stress and anxiety. And that's a key driver of, that chronic anxiety that someone may feel. Hibiscus tea can help lower those feelings. It has a lot of calming properties in it that supports the nervous system, which therefore lowers the amount of stress and anxiety because stress and anxiety affects the nervous system. So hibiscus tea is going to help reduce the feelings of tension. So you know how you hold tension in your shoulders and in your neck area? Start drinking some hibiscus tea. You're going to start to feel the tension because again, it is expanding those the or relaxing those blood vessels that are in your body. Okay. Number three, it's going to help support heart health. So that's the reason why I use it. It helps to lower that LDL, which is your bad cholesterol. You want to make sure you're keeping your LDL below 100, but if you have some other chronic health conditions going on, 70 is probably the best. But it does help lower that LDL, that bad cholesterol, and it increases your HDL. Okay, so if you have a low HDL, which is a good cholesterol, so like in 45 range, the hibiscus tea will help increase that, and it improves your overall cardiovascular health. It is an anti-inflammatory. So it has those anti-inflammatory compounds that support blood vessel health and circulation. So because it goes back to those antioxidants, okay? Number four, it does aid in weight management. I did notice that once I started consuming hibiscus tea on a regular basis, just like every day, I was losing at least a pound or two in like 1 or 2 weeks. So it does help with weight management, and it helps to reduce the fat absorbing in your body. So therefore, it improves your metabolism because again, it's removing things. Well, I guess what you can say, yes, it's removing things from the bloodstream, and it's again helping to promote that circulation, which helps your body to empty out more of what you're putting in, those unhealthy things. So it does help with a little bit of bloating. So if you have like mild bloating, or some type of mild digestive discomfort, it will help to move things along in your digestive tract. Okay. It also, this is one of my favorites, it also helps to balance hormones. When I was a health educator, and I was educating those with chronic health conditions, I had a couple of patients that who were women, and they were going through hormonal changes. And so what hibiscus tea does, and I told them, I introduced them to that, they were open to it. And I said, try drinking some hibiscus tea on a daily basis. And once they started drinking the hibiscus tea, they started to notice things start to balancing out. So it gently supports estrogen balance. If you're a woman who produces a lot of estrogen like myself, then yes, it will support your estrogen hormones balancing out. And it's also very helpful during PMS, and especially menopause, because those were the women that I was speaking to who were going through menopause at the time. And so it does help again to manage that down. That's not the end all be all. I want you to know, please talk to your provider, your primary care physician, your OBGYN, before doing anything. But it will help to manage that. Science has proven that. Okay. So how do you want to drink the hibiscus tea? So you want to make sure that you're steeping 1 to 2 teaspoons of the dried hibiscus petals. You can purchase them on Amazon. You can get it at your local grocery store or whatever. What I say is make sure you're getting the organic form. Okay, we don't want any harmful chemicals or anything or pesticides or anything in our bodies. We want to make sure that when we are drinking herbal teas, that they are organic teas. Okay, so make sure that you purchase the organic dried hibiscus petals. You want to do if it's free form, the 2 teaspoons, or if it comes in the little packets, then just do that packet. Now, I want to express something to you. You don't ever want to burn the flower petals. So don't get your water boiling hot. Okay, wait until the bubbles start to form where you can see in your tea kettle those bubbles. You do not want your water to be boiling, rolling water. Okay, that's going to burn the petals. Okay, so you want to make sure that you're watching the water, and when it starts to form those bubbles, that means it's hot enough. And then you're going to pour that water onto those hibiscus petals. You're going to let that sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to your liking. You can drink this hot or cold. What I like to do is I like to let it sit, and I do more than 5 or 10 minutes, but I make a concentrated form. If you're like me and you want to make like a pitcher of hibiscus tea, and I make the pitcher of hibiscus tea every week, and I let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour, steeping. And then after that, that's my concentrate. And then I just add, the water into it, that large pitcher, and so I add the water in, I add a little bit of agave nectar to sweeten it up. Or if you want to use pure cane sugar, you can do that as well. So again, you can drink this hot or cold. It's really good if you pair it with cinnamon, and if you do pair it with cinnamon, it will help to increase weight loss. Okay, because cinnamon helps with that. You can also couple it with ginger. Ginger is also another great one that's going to help with weight loss and managing blood pressure. And again, um, those the circulation. It helps with the circulation in your body. And you can also pair it with lemon if you want like a drop of lemon or a squeeze of lemon in it. It's really good that way too, because I made hibiscus lemonade, which is the bomb. Okay, so make some hibiscus lemonade. But listen, if you do that, use real lemons when you are making the hibiscus lemonade. I promise you, it's going to be perfect. Do not get the lemonade powder that you get at the grocery store. Okay. And of course, you have to adjust it. Once you find that happy medium, it's going to be so delicious, so good. And this is why I drink it on a daily basis. Okay. So, when you're drinking this, you can drink hibiscus tea, 1 to 2 cups daily. I try to do it twice a day. And normally what I do is after lunch, I'll drink a cup, and then after dinner, I'll drink a cup. But, start off with however you feel. I wouldn't drink it in the morning though. You want to make sure that you've eaten something, because again, it's helping to eliminate a lot of what is in your digestive tract. And again, because it has that calming effect, normally by noon or by midday, you're needing some type of refreshment to calm you down at work. So this will be a good option for you. So drink about 1 to 2 cups daily. If you're managing your high blood pressure with a medication, you have to be careful. Again, make sure that you're communicating with your provider about this. But I will say this: if you drink it consistently for 2 to 4 weeks, you're gonna start see where your blood pressure is going to lower itself. And that was the thing with and it was mostly women. Men are not so much open to drinking tea unless it's like the regular sweet tea. But every woman that I educated them about this, they wound up getting off of their medications eventually. Okay, they learned how to manage their stress. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm just going to drink hibiscus tea." No, there is a treatment plan that came with everything. Okay, well, I was a clinician, so. Um, but yes, it can definitely help you lower your medication dosages if you are taking blood pressure. So make sure that you're being mindful, because it does lower blood pressure. If you're already on that medication, you need to consult with your healthcare provider. If you have decided intentionally that you want to drink hibiscus tea on a daily basis, then let your doctor know that, and let the doctor know that, according to scientific research, this has been known to lower blood pressure. So you may start to see my blood pressure come down. And when it's consistently down for 6 months, I like to lower my medications and, things like that. You can have that conversation with your provider. Okay. It's not recommended that you take hibiscus tea while you are pregnant. If you are pregnant or you're trying to conceive, you should not, unless you're on a regimen. So for instance, if, someone comes to me as their fertility doula, and I put them on a treatment plan, I may start with hibiscus tea to help them remove a lot of the inflammation, get some weight down, lower their stress levels, regulate their hormones. I'll start them off with hibiscus tea. But then when you're trying to consume in that period of time where you're trying to consume, because first I have to make sure that your body is ready to consume. So that's my purpose as a fertility doula, is getting your body ready to carry full term. So in the beginning of the treatment, I may give them, hibiscus tea as a part of their treatment plan. But then when you're trying to conceive, I cut that off, because it's going to affect hormones, and it's also going to affect your uterine muscles while you are trying to carry. So no, do not drink hibiscus tea while you are pregnant or while you're trying to conceive. Okay. Again, try to pair hibiscus tea with your daily breath work. I just talked about this in the previous video where we're talking about stress and cortisol levels. So pair the tea with your daily breath work, especially like if you're at work, get into like a routine of every day at a certain amount of time, and you have, this amount of time in your schedule. Go ahead, drink some hibiscus tea, do your breath work, okay? Ground yourself, journal. You can do this while you're journaling, and this is just to make you, put into practice in creating a more holistic, stress-free or stress relief type of ritual. Sip, breathe, and allow your body to restore balance naturally. Yeah, so uh, hibiscus tea is it's really great. It's a really great start to managing stress, and like I said, it also helps to help you digest food, and therefore it's going to help with your metabolism and with your weight loss. So it's a really good what I would call an herbal tea starter if you want to get started with any type of herbal tea. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining me today for Herbal Health Thursday. Comment down below. I love to know what you think about this topic. And, if you tried hibiscus tea before, if you're thinking about trying it, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Make sure that you click that notification bell and select all so that you do know when I upload new videos to the channel. If your organization is in need of any type of agile thinking and wellness strategies, please visit my website at slhwellnessmanagement.com to learn more about the training that I'm offering at a discounted price until August of this year. So you have until August of 2025 to sign up your organization for agile thinking and wellness strategies. Again, I am Sherress, your agile thinker and your certified wellness strategist, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.